Evening, everyone. As we come back from our closed session, wanted to welcome everyone back. And so we want to adjourn from closed session and reconvene open session. And if we could all rise and
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to report out our action taken during closed session regarding item number C3A on the closed session agenda. A majority of the board heard in closed session to challenge to an appeal of the decision of the superintendent to uphold the denial of the records challenged by the student. And with that, we will need to take a vote, roll call vote.
Trustee Anantavant?
Wait, what am I, if I want to uphold, it's aye?
Oh, thank you. Well, we still have to do the roll call.
What is it up? Is aye, and what is the motion?
Sorry, the motion is the majority of the board has voted to uphold the superintendent's denial of the records challenge upholding the suspension records. And with that, we need to do a roll call vote.
That's the motion.
Aye.
Yes, the motion, I'm sorry.
So who was making the motion?
Need a motion on that, please.
This is Eve. I move to uphold the motion. To
Uphold the superintendent.
uphold the superintendent's decision.
And is there a second?
This is Katie, I second. Trustee Anantavant?
Aye.
Trustee Phillips?
Aye.
Vice President Shogun?
Aye.
President Collins-Coleman?
Aye.
Motion carries.
A written decision of the board's findings and conclusions will be provided to the parties as directed to staff by the board.
Is there a timeline on that?
No, in the
Okay.
coming weeks. Any questions? Any public comment? No. Okay. All right, public comment guidelines.
I just want to make sure that we report another action item on 3B, right? The board acted on a settlement agreement and it was
Yes.
4-0.
Yes, correct.
Sorry. And for the rest of the items, we will return to closed session at the end.
Okay.
Thank you. I apologize. And yes,
Now
we can move public comment. There's no public comments submitted at this moment.
At a regular meeting of the Board of Trustees, the public may comment on items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the governing board. For items on the agenda, the public may comment at the time the board considers the agenda item. For items not on the agenda, the public may comment under item 5A, public comment. The Board of Trustees requests that individuals who would like to address the Board of Trustees on an item complete a request to address the OUSD school board card and submit it to the superintendent prior to the agenda item. Cards are available at the meeting. Comments are limited to no more than 3 minutes. Groups are asked to limit their comments to a total of 5 minutes. To comply with the Brown Act, the board may listen to comments from the speakers, but can neither discuss nor take action on the issues presented. Moving on to item 6A. Okay, Stephanie.
Actually, I'll start and we'll have the Stephanie between the two of us. We're actually very excited to bring this to the board, and if anybody tuned into the Moraga meeting last week, just because they happened to be 1 week ahead of us, they would have seen the same MOU and a pretty much identical presentation, because this has been a highly collaborative effort on the both districts. So I'm just going to my presentation, and pardon us for stumbling through our new system up here and how to present it. But we had mentioned this a little bit last year. on our efforts and collaborative regional efforts to support our special education students. I mean, in Orinda, we strive to serve all of our students. And of course, that includes our students with disabilities, students with IEPs, are integrated through our full inclusion or specialized academic instruction. And that includes specialized academic instruction through SDC classes, push in, pull in, aids, special language, speech and language supports, and so on. We provide counseling, OT, PT, all sorts of things. Unfortunately, we are a very small district. As are many of our partners down the corridor. We have been trying to figure out how do we provide this rich and robust services for our students with special needs within such a small district. So one of the conversations that's been happening actually for years within the Contra Costa SELPA has been how do we provide regional support services across the county? And that just hasn't taken off as quickly as we wanted to take it off. So we have used our relationships with Moraga and our regional, the vicinity, and are really working with them specifically to offer this really collaborative effort. So with that, Stephanie and myself and Rachel, who is their new special ed director in Moraga, and Julie Parks, their superintendent, we've met multiple times last year and through workshops over the summer, and actually developed an MOU or memorandum of understanding to really place students and develop programs between our two districts and really work like a true partner on what does that look like between our two districts. So we've already had partnerships between us and Moraga for the early intervention program, but it needed some fine tuning. First, we wanted to make the program a little more robust, and also how do we iron out collaboration between us when things are not working. Then we took an opportunity as we were bringing back special day class to Orinda, and they are Alpha One, that we would offer that, including Moraga families. So that's being offered at Del Rey. We're excited for our new building, new furniture, teacher. It's beautiful. Yeah, thank you, Stuart, for building us in the building. So that is currently offered for our TK through really first grade students, right?
My class is technically a TK through second, but it's TK through first right now. We have 9 students, 4 TK, 4 kinder, and 1 first grader. And so really looking at that scheduling, how we're utilizing our time and our resources is having the TKers go where they leave at 11:30 with leave with the other TKers, and then our kindergartners stay a little later, leave at 1:10, and then our first grader leaves at 2:00. So it's really giving them their own unique time to focus with the teacher, and they all have a dedicated space in general education classrooms. So they have a gen ed teacher, and then we have an amazing special ed teacher that we were able to find that we're very excited about. And, it's been a very collaborative relationship with Del Rey. Del Rey has been very welcoming, and Moraga has been wonderful at helping their families get to know us a little bit better.
We are expecting that, and maybe you can talk to that, Stephanie, a little bit, for that program to grow as those students grow, that they will go to third through 5th grade age band. In the past, actually, when we've offered that, because within just Orinda, that's been basically TK through 5th grade, which is really hard to have that kind of programming be high quality programming. So by banding the kids together into cohorts, I think we can offer that.
I'd like to keep it as localized as possible for students, so they're not having to bounce from school to school based on the grade that they're going into.
And then as they get older, we are still continuing to offer a special day class at OIS, and that also working with the Moraga students. And then also at JM would like to make their program, and they're working on counseling and enrich programs, so students with a little more of a need for mental health support. So they already have the starts of that and are working on making that a little more robust. So really using that vicinity geographically, working with a good collaborative relationship. And then we've been really supported by SELPA, by their executive director, their program specialist, to help us navigate through the MOU and then help us with their professional development and support.
And this relationship allowed us to also have all of Moraga's special education staff came and joined us on Thursday for training. So we had all of our psychs together, our speech pathologists and our teachers all together for different sessions that are really pertinent to what they're doing. And so they're excited to continue this collaboration and continue trainings with one another.
That helps not only us develop programming, but it helps in resource and sharing, and it's most cost effective. And that's the professional development. So in the MOU, that's really up for an action for you all. We have developed this MOU with support of SELPA. It really goes through what kind of programs you want to offer, what are the responsibilities of the district of residence versus district of service, what happens when things are not going well, with the student, who's responsible for assessment, who's attending the meetings. So really outlines all those details, which we have not had in our agreements before. Can't just rely on good relationships. And then it also, what it does do, which is really important, is once the students are ours, for example, here, they are ours. That if a student is, in our program, we would not just say, I'm sorry, we don't have any more room. We're committing to serving those students, and they're committing to serving our students. And that's a really important thing, because what happens,
we're seeing quite often with other districts where they might have a student, say, first and second grade, and then decide they didn't have room for them in third grade. And so even having those conversations but you've had that student this long, is their sole spot. We don't want to run into that problem with our own classroom. And so it's a guarantee that if it's still the appropriate placement, sometimes it's not, sometimes placement has to change. We understand that. But if it's still an appropriate placement, we're holding a spot for that student.
so questions, thoughts, comments? We are coming back with our annual update for special education. We committed to that. So this will bring back of how all these programs are going back in October. So as we had committed to doing that. So we'll bring that back. I just wanted to share how this is starting.
Great. Any comments from the board? Questions?
My only comment is I think this is a great step in formalizing, and I think the MOU is really detailed. But I think that's really important, especially the part about who's responsible for which pieces of the IEP process and what happens if, how the meetings go, who needs to do the prep work. I think it's a really great step towards having something that's a little more concrete, so that, other people are around, there's still an understanding of how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's going to be the same word, formalized, and good to see it. And it makes so much sense to have this kind of collaboration, so. Thanks for putting this all together.
Thank
Is
you.
there any public comment?
There's no public comment.
Okay, this is an action. Need a motion at the,
This is Anita. I move to approve the MOU between the local educational agencies of the Contra Costa County Special Education Area.
second.
This is Katie, I second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. And item 6B.
This will be Brian.
All right, thank you, President Collins-Coleman. Resolution 2601, alternative teacher certification. By approving this resolution, the board's allowing fully credentialed district teachers to teach courses outside of their credential subject area in what's called an alternative assignment. The Commission on Teacher Credentialing has approved the use of existing regulations governing the assignment of teachers to teach specific subjects with the teacher's consent in middle, junior, and high school. In Orinda, for example, alternative assignments would include OIS, leadership, makerspace, public speaking, debate, yearbook classes. So with this, we're seeking approval for Resolution 2601, alternative certification. This is somewhat of an annual visit with you.
Questions, comments from the board? Public comment?
There's no public comment.
All right, this is up for action.
This is Katie. I move that we approve resolution 26-01, alternative certification teacher consent.
This is Eve, I second.
The roll call vote.
Then, Trustee Anantama? Aye. Trustee Phillips?
Aye.
Vice President Shogun?
Aye.
President Collins-Coleman?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item 6C. Mika.
This is also the annual resolution. With LAIF, we invest money from the Fund 40, that's the Special Capital Outlay Fund. And this is for the board to authorize superintendent and I to deposit and withdraw funds between LAIF and cash income.
You, any questions or comments from the board?
No, I know this is an annual.
Any public comment?
No public comment.
This is up for action. Have a motion?
This is Katie. I move that we approve resolution 26-02, authorizing investment of monies in the local agency investment fund.
This is Benita, second. Trustee Phillips.
Aye.
Trustee Nantavat. Aye. Vice President Shogun.
Aye.
President Collins Coleman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And we have item 6D.
Yeah, so the bylaw 9270, conflict of interest resolution, is something that we bring biannually. We did bring this last year, however, this bylaw was just updated by CSBA, so we updated the resolution as well. But it really just lists us as staff member and the board, and commits us to making sure that we don't have any conflict of interest. So
Pretty straightforward.
very, yes,
Any questions or comments from the board? Any public comment?
there's no public comment.
This is up for action. Have a motion?
This is Katie. I move that we approve resolution 26-03, adopting a conflict of interest code.
This is Eve, I second.
Trustee Nantavat. Aye. Trustee Phillips.
Aye.
Vice President Shogun.
Aye.
President Collins Coleman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, going to our discussion items. 7A, Sarah.
Hey, okay. All right, so Stephanie and I are excited to share with you all of the great things that happened in Orinda during the summer program. We will get started.
I will just follow you.
Okay. We had 3 summer programming types going on. The first was our extended school year, which serves our students with special needs to ensure that there's insignificant learning gaps that occur over the summer. The second is our English language development program. And that basically provides our recommended EL students with engaging learning, connecting to their community, a lot of practice in all those language acquisition skills to continue through the summer. And then we also had a newer program, which we called OIS Math Boost, and we served incoming 6th graders to OIS and also some incoming 7th graders to give them that extra support in math so that they were ready for that next level of middle school math. Some logistics where it was held at Wagner Ranch Elementary. It was 19 days for ESY and EL, and we had 2 sessions. And then Math Boost was for 1 week from June 23rd to June 27th. And it went from 9 to 12 every day. And then I'm going to toss it to Stephanie, who's going to talk about extended school year.
So with our extended school year, we broke it up into 2 classes this year. So we had our TK through 4th grade and then 5th grade through 8th grade as our 2 separate classes. We had 19 students attend, 4 teachers, 7 support aides, and we had additional providers like our occupational therapist, our speech language pathologist, and at times our physical therapist as well. And so it was just an opportunity for students to work on their goals and really work to make sure that they didn't go into a massive learning loss for the fall.
And then how were they recommended?
So to be recommended for ESY, it's done through the IEP process. So our teachers really collect a lot of data between extended break. So after Thanksgiving break, after winter break, and after spring break to determine, is that student able to come back to school and pick up where they left off, or are they having to make up from the lost learning? And so when we go through that, we then determine who needs to have ESY and we invite the families. Out of all the 19 that we invite, or 19 that attended, we invited around 30 families. Some of them came a few of the days and then left on vacation. Our theory is we'd rather have them do some learning than no learning at all.
Right. And then next was our English learner program that served kindergarten through 8th grade students who met the criteria. We had a total of 14 students overall, and then 11 of those students attended both sessions. We had one very special teacher, Mr. Charles Shannon, who just did a fabulous job being sure. I mean, his classroom is just so organized. He's got so many things for those kids to engage in. He had 3 support staff there supporting students. And then there really was a focus, not just on language development, but also that community building, because we really want our English learners to feel like Orinda is their home. You are a really important person in our community. We just want you to feel welcome and included. So it's really about building those relationships, a lot of group activities and social interaction.
Sarah, can I know you just mentioned this, but you would walk into that classroom and it really looked like somebody's been there for a year. I mean, Mr. Shannon had like moved into Wagner and established like Mr. Shannon's classroom. It really felt like home, not just regular summer school. So I just really want to say kudos because it really did feel like home.
Yeah, I mean, you have student work on the walls, an agenda on the board, very consistent routines and procedures. It's great.
Which classroom was it?
Or like physically, which classroom?
It was room 7.
Yeah, it's normally like a first grade class or?
3rd grade, maybe?
It's the 3rd grade.
3rd grade classroom.
And then we just want to talk a little bit about how EL students get recommended. So really we use their language proficiency data that we got at the end of the year, and then also our reading assessment and screening data really helped identify students to make sure that, I think actually we invite the majority of students from the EL program who are at those lower levels of English proficiency. All right. And then next is the OAS Math Boost. So we had 2 teachers serving 11 students, and they had just 5 days with those kiddos, and they were so intentional. So it was so well planned out. We had 2 groups running. Each one of the teachers was focusing on a really specific math fluency skill, and then taking those kids through a lot of practice to deepen their understanding and then move them on to the next sequence of skills. I wanted to highlight for them that, and I'll give it away, I was gonna save it for the last slide, but I think nearly half of their students did not start at proficiency if they did a pretest, and then nearly half of them were proficient or above by the 5th day, which was really great. And so it also was a good acclimation for them as well. It's taught by 2 OIS teachers, 2 OIS math teachers with math experience from OIS. So it was really not just about building those skills, but like helping those kids understand, like, this is what middle school math is going to look like. I know middle school math really well. And so really giving those kids the confidence to enter in and just be that much more likely to be successful.
I took it very seriously. They asked me, are you going to be out there on that table? Because we want to use it. I was like, I can move. It's fine.
They were using all of the spaces, for small groups. Yeah.
We would have done it at OIS. We just couldn't access OIS.
Yeah.
Because so ideally, that's something that we would have actually transitioned to the middle school, but construction.
And do some of these students have Legis math teachers as their teachers now? I have to look that up. They definitely wanted to know at the time, but it was too early for us to tell them. But yeah, that would be ideal, right? I think at least one of the teachers was like, can you please make sure some of them are in my class? Because just that continuity helps. But I have to go back and look that up to be able to talk to you specifically. And then what we used for this was teacher recommendation and also our STAR Math Screener and their previous year's CAS data. I think I just highlight this because it's so important that our screening data, and especially with us doing screening a little differently and reading this year, that I just want to highlight how important some of this data is in helping us identify kids who are really not yet meeting standard. And so we can give them that intentional support we know they need in our multi-tiered system of intervention. And then highlights really are that small class size, the individualized attention and personalized instruction. There's a lot of social emotional growth and community that happens during these times. And then again, talking about Summer Math Boost, the data was really promising. And overall, you kind of wonder, are kids going to be happy about coming to a summer program and waking up and getting to school every day? And overall, our feedback from students was so positive. For all of the programs that kids do really like enjoy it and staying connected. Even middle school math. So that was really impressive. So Annie, that's it for us. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No, it's just a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
I think one thing is just also kudos to our food service department.
Oh, yeah.
That's every morning. And not only they try to make it fun, but it was like a little stands with Aloha stuff. And then they would actually like deliver it to they would make like really cutesy things to make it really welcoming for the kids. And I mean, it was lovely.
Try to make
Really, really kudos to Melissa and Chartwells for making it a little more fun and welcoming than just like a regular lunch line. I mean, those are always fun too, but yeah, more summer vibe. Yeah.
And I just want to say, I remember going through some of this last year and really appreciate, particularly for the math one, being able to see like the outcomes. I mean, I know it's not always as easy in some of the other domains, but it's obviously great that the kids are getting something out of it, but it's also great to see the data that they're clearly improving in what's, really 5 days of intense study, so but fun study.
Right.
So that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, I think this is great, and I'm really happy to see the OAS math boost be possible. One question, maybe it's just for another year if it's able to be done again, but for the students, math just is only 5 days, and it sounds like they made great growth, but repetition is really important in math. Were they given any follow-up work, like optional to do something to finish up and maybe check in with that teacher again when they get to OIS, but so that, they can't be on campus necessarily, but they can keep working on those skills for they
Yeah, both of those things. So they, we kind of scrambled in the middle of the week to get some folders put together for them because they wanted to get a bunch of stuff in sheet protectors for the kiddos. They'd have all of these resources ready to go, like some support right there. And then also let the kids know, come see me the first day of school. My classroom is on campus. Whether you have me in your classroom or not, make sure you can say hi. And they're intentional too about saying like, come see me at Academy. Like whether you're in my class or not, so let's put you in my Academy so we can touch base at the beginning of the year.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then with the other programs, I mean, there's less, I mention this every year. Is there a data transfer for ELL students? Like, here's how it was going when they left off with me. Here's some things I think they're great at. Here's some areas for growth. And then, does it get passed on to their SDC teacher or whoever? What's the follow-up
So
like?
for that's why they do progress reports for all the students to just give a little idea of how they were doing on their goals and what they worked on over the summer, and that goes to their next case manager.
We don't have that continuity explicit in English learner program, but it's definitely something. I mean, Mr. Shannon may actually know more about that than I do, but I know he's actually in continual conversation, like emailing and communicating with parents and all that sort of thing. But that's something I can take note of.
Yeah. Thanks.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Thank you for bringing this. It's just love to see the good outcomes and intervention and all these things. Any public comment?
No public comment.
All right, that is just for a discussion. Thank you. Next item 7B, enrollment update.
So we just bringing a quick update on where we are with enrollment. We monitor enrollment very carefully. Enrollment affects staffing clearly and has major facility implications. We monitor class sizes very carefully, and we want to make sure they're balanced across school sites and the district. And of course, as the board probably knows, the district is allocated state funds, which is majority of our funding based on student enrollment and average daily attendance, or ADA. Most of our students enroll within while school is in session, and we have traditionally had pretty modest increases in student enrollment. With that said, last couple of summers, our enrollment has been larger than our traditional summer enrollment. So we don't know if those are like one-offs or two-offs, or is that a new growing trend of what's going on? So we welcome all new students that live here, no matter what the time of the enrollment, but those late enrollment can present some challenges for us relating to staffing, facilities, because we have to determine those late in the spring. So we monitor all that stuff closely. So this is where we are, start of the year. So just the bright red bordered line was what we were projected to be in 25-6, and the green bordered bar is where we currently are. I will say that the rest of the numbers are CBED counts, because sometimes we talk about which enrollments are we talking about seatbeds, is first Tuesday of October, correct?
Wednesday.
First Wednesday of October. Tuesday's voting day. Okay, so first Wednesday of October is considered October census. So those are the official CBEDS numbers. If you notice, the first 10 years, clearly we haven't had October census date yet. So those are actual numbers of how many students are currently enrolled when I pulled them on April 5th, August 15th. The 25-26 should be August 15th. Thank you. So you can see that it's 71 students more than what is projected. Yeah, we should change that to August. It says April. This is why we do slides. So TK5 enrollment is increase of 44 elementary age students between 24-25 and 25-26 school year. And that's 30 more students than actually projected, which is pretty significant for a school of our size. And then you can see here a breakdown. I pulled this, I think, day after Mika pulled her numbers down in consent. So I'm at 2699. She was at 2700 students. But I mean, that's about, so we are hovering around 2700 students, which is the biggest in quite a few years. I mean, clearly our biggest growth is around TK. I will say that a lot of the neighboring districts, the TK students, the TK numbers are not realizing at their projections, while ours are coming in. They're coming in here. I will say that also Basque is part of the reason.
It's availability.
It is, and that's what we're hearing clearly, that it's the availability of the childcare before and after. And so even our demographers, when they stated to us that we went to AM, PM, usually districts rules on enrollment in TK. When they move that, they go to that change. We did not. So we did not lose an enrollment because of the available childcare. So that is a big difference between us and the other districts around. So Basque plays a major, major role for our enrollment and availability of the programming, which is huge. So again, start of the year, enrollment for middle school also growing. So it's not just TK. So these are students that we actually had to deny some transfers to because we were just full. So, I mean, we accepted quite a few at the start of the year, but summer, but as our classes filled up, we just weren't able to do so in certain grade levels. Like we have room in 7th grade, but not in 6th grade.
Was that anticipated, the 6th grade bump, or?
We knew it was going to be bigger, that our numbers of 8th graders are, yeah. So we knew it's a bigger cohort. Next year's cohort is a little smaller, but not this size.
Yeah.
So it's also hard. The real estate is very unpredictable. We did not realize that real estate in Orinda was going to be turning over as much as it is. So, and that's what I said. I don't know if that's a trend or not. So we examined projections, of course, but summer enrollment trends and ongoing schools. So we will have to look at the last few years of what's going on with the summer enrollment so that we can help us with better projections. I think this is the final year. Clearly, this is a full implementation of TK. So our projections should actually be a little more on point moving forward, as opposed to as we continue, like, who are all these TKers? Because it's hard to predict who based on just birth rates. Right? So annual data verification in the first week of attendance, we utilize that to ensure accurate start of the year enrollment. So we examine, okay, who are the actual students that are coming into schools? So throughout this week, we look at, okay, these are the kids that enrolled, but are they actually all here? So we examine that and look at that enrollment, and we bring back the annual update to you here again in March.
Did the demographer take that into account, the, full effect in TK?
They did.
It just kind of ballooned.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and they take into account how many houses are supposed to be moving on and our development, but the housing market here is a little different than possibly other housing markets.
They didn't take into account that.
Right.
That's the option of
that is the
that.
difference. I will say that, yeah.
This is just up for discussion, but any other questions from the
I will
board?
update the data, apologize for that.
I just had one, but the chart that shows all the enrollment by school.
Right here?
Yeah. You can see each grade level and then totals, but I don't know offhand, like how impacted are the schools? I know Wagner was going to be the biggest anyway, but are we like way ahead on Wagner now because of where kids moved in or?
We're
we're pretty
okay
bad
actually at
in
Wagner
terms of where
because
kids
we actually we're okay because we added A and PM, right? So we were able to utilize our facilities in a different way. So we're fine there right now. It's just different grade levels. So for example, their kindergarten has plenty of room. Their TK had room, but I want to say off the top of my head, I think their third grade did not. Or fourth grade. So it really actually started happening now within grade levels. I mean, in the springtime, when we developed the staffing, everyone was okay, but it's now depending on who moves in. So there are students that are redirected.
Is there more people moving? Are there more people moving in Wagner versus Sleepy Hollow, for example, which remains tiny?
It's Glorietta, actually,
Yeah,
those
okay.
neighborhoods,
Okay.
Glorietta
Yeah, makes sense.
and Del Rey have grown the most, increased this most significantly is actually, that's 2 summers in a row. That is the biggest summer enrollment is happening on that side of this
Okay.
town.
Makes sense.
Any other questions? Any public comment? Public comment, okay. Moving on to the next item, yes.
Yes. So Governor Newsom enacted the 25-26 state budget late in June. And we just want to go over some summaries, the key point. But basically, it didn't change that much from the May revision. It's just at May revision time, there are many things that it was not certain. And now we can act on it, so that is great. So
I'll follow you.
thank you. So this is an overview of the state budget that relates to Orinda or K-12. The 24-25 apportionment is less than Prop 98 minimum guarantee. And I'm sure you heard of this, the settle up, what was that? Settle up 1.9 billion. And they also will exhaust all the rainy day funds at the end of 25-26. Quota stayed the same for 25-26. It's 2.3%. TK add-on, this was big impact on our budget. And we were not sure if they will actually increase it, or if they increase it, we were not sure how much it would be. So that was increased from 3148 to 5545. That's about $2,397 increase per TK ADN, not the enrollment. And the new thing was the ratio changed from 12-1 to 10-1. So we needed more teachers and more space. There are several one-time funds, and some are, Orinda is receiving some of them. Deferral happened from June apportionment. June apportionment was deferred to July, just 1 month. And that will happen at the end of this school year again. The June 2026 will be deferred to July 2026. And it's just 1 month, and we don't foresee we will have any issues.
Can I just clarify the student adult ratio in 1 to 10? So that doesn't mean 1 teacher to 10 students, because you can have an aide in there. So we have an aide the entire time as well supporting, and that's really how, but in the classrooms, for example, I mean, ours are 20-1, so there's an aide, but should a classroom, I'm not saying that we're planning on this, but like, for example, another district, you can go to 24, that's like 2 aides. You're not necessarily putting in 2 teachers. So that's one way to handle that.
Is that increase in the add-on permanent, or is that just in this year?
It will be ongoing,
ongoing funding.
As permanent as anything is.
Correct.
and it should be receiving quota increase.
Yeah.
So this is the picture that shows 23-24 Prop 98. And the second one is the guarantee calculated amount. But the third one is the one we actually received. It's about 118 and 1.9 million less. And the 25-26 is project to be 115 million. So next slide shows the 24-25. Again, the same thing, the settle up, and after state knows how much they are getting, and this settle up, we anticipate the payment to be in May 2026, if that happens. So here's the overview for Orinda, how it affects Orinda. So adopted budget was created back in May using May revision, and there are things that we didn't include because it was not certain. So the difference between adopted budget to current is what listed. So 24-25 ADA actually went up, extended year summer school, thank you, increased the ADA. So we anticipate to receive a little more. 25-26 enrollment went up, and actually 2,704, I looked at it August 12th. And then when I looked at the August 14th, it was 2699. So it's changing a little bit, but I thought 14th is probably more reliable. Again, cost of living adjustment, 2.3%, and TK add-on rate went up. So this is included. We will be including for the first interim. It was not included. One-time funds, we are receiving student support and discretionary block grant, and also learning recovery emergency block grant. And deferral will be happening to Orinda as well. So now let's think about what affects the budget. So what affects revenue is enrollment, increase, decrease, average daily attendance, ADA. More, higher the number, we get more money. The quota, of course, changes, and TK add-on rate. And expenditure is also affected by enrollment. When we have more kids, we need to provide more classroom, and that means facility needs as well. We're going to have to increase the FTE, or if it decreases, then we need to adjust the FTE. TK mandates that changed significantly for us, but we are getting TK add-on as well. And of course, step and column and benefits increase, and the inflation affects the expenditure just doing business. The next table shows how it changed from May 17th or May time adopted budget to August 14th. So when we adopted, we used 2672 as an enrollment number, and that increased by 27. ADA was 2573, that increased by 34, partially because of the enrollment increase, but also the extended year increase is contributing to that. Of course, add-on rate changed. So all this is affecting how much Orinda receives in unrestricted fund per LCFF. At the adopted time, it was 28.88 million. And when we calculate based on these new numbers, we anticipate to receive 0.84 million more. But then that comes with the expenditure as well. So we need to increase the FTE. Adopted time, we anticipate to increase 4 FTE and 0.6 FTE. But with enrollment increase and other factors, we needed to increase it to 8.2 FTE and 3.8 FTE.
That's certificate and classified.
Yes, both in certificate.
You probably get it. Should we take from this in general that the overall funds are matching what we think for the overall expenditures, given all the changes?
I think there's,
The 0.84 and the 0.85.
Yeah, too.
Is that like the net takeaway from?
I think there's a little more money coming in, that how much we're expending.
Okay.
Yes.
And so the bottom is additional FTE cost. This is like estimated, calculated amount. And when we have actual person placed in, the new teacher coming in, and we don't know how much, which program and step they're gonna hold in. So this is just a calculated, estimated amount, assuming everyone's gonna be at the same level. So it was calculated the same way, adopted budget, and now the increase in expenditure is 0.85. But again, this is estimate. When we place the actual person in the position, then we will all recalculate it. So that was the effect on unrestricted general fund. And also we received restricted revenue. There are two. One is discretionary block grant, and this is a little less than 800,000. And this is to be used over 4 years. Not like, we don't want to spend it in 1 year. So it's for 4 years and discretionary in nature. And the other one is learning recovery block grant. Originally, or right after COVID, we received 177,000 for this emergency block grant. And we were told it's going to be about the same amount. And that was what we budgeted, but actually we received only 9,000 for 4 years.
You kept asking if it's a mistake in our slides.
So the discretionary block grant, we didn't include it in adopted budget. So this is new restricted money coming in versus the learning recovery is decreasing significantly. So whatever we were planning to pay with this money will be paid out of unrestricted fund. So that was it. Any questions?
Very comprehensive. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the update.
So the actual effects on the numbers will be, as we're saying here in the first interim, right?
Yes.
There's a budget report coming in September, which is the unaudited actuals.
Yes. So unaudited actual will have adopted budget next to it.
9,000.
We'll came up with a plan.
The remaining, yeah. Okay. This is just up for discussion. Any other questions from the board? Any public comment?
There's
All right, moving on to legal services. Any update?
So this is the quarterly report, but the end of year report. It's kind of hard to see. So the total in 24-25 legal cost was 182,000. Compared to 23-24, it is less than last year. It was 199,000. Overall, I think we are doing well.
Yes.
We continue to lower and we continue to have meetings on how we can not to not being capable. But yes.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you for that
Yes.
effort.
Thank you. This is just up for discussion. Any public comment?
No comments.
Moving on to measures E and I implementation, our favorite subject.
First item up, due to the tight construction schedule that we have for the modernizations at Del Rey, Glorietta, and OIS, more abatement oversight hours were required to keep the project rolling and on track, keep things moving. So this is a change order for that work from Cherifade. So we needed
Great.
recommendations that you approve it.
Thank you, Stuart. This is up for action, but first, are there any public comments?
No public.
Okay. Any questions, comments from the board? Okay, this is up for action. Need a motion, please?
This is Katie. I move that we approve the Terrafade's Engineering's change order number 1.
This is me in a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. And 8B, Delmore Consulting, Stuart.
Yeah, this is in regards to the HVAC control, piping and wiring upgrades that we did at Sleepy Hollow. Although it was not a DSA project, that we had to go and submit, we thought it was prudent to get a DSA inspector of record on board to oversee the project and make sure that things were done right. So that's what this is for. This is for that oversight, and that project went very well, actually. So recommendations to approve this.
Thank you. Any public comment?
There's none.
Okay. This is up for action. We have a motion from the board.
This is Eve. I move that we approve the contract with Delmore Consulting Inspection Services.
This is Katie, a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. And item C, Stuart.
Again, related to the work that was done at Del Rey, there were 3 large trees in the parking lot, between the parking lot and the MPR, the east side of the MPR. The roots were uplifting all the sidewalk. That's part of why we had to do the sidewalk work as part of the path of travel. When that was demoed and excavated, it became apparent that the roots were really intrusive. The trees did not look in great health, so I had McNeil Arboriculture come out and do an assessment report, and the recommendation was that they were at the end of their regular life. They were not in great health, and the recommendation was to remove them. So recommendations to approve thing for this report.
Thank you, Stuart. Any public comment?
There's none.
All right. This is up for action. Is there a motion?
This is Katie. I move that we approve the contract with McNeil Arboriculture Consultants LLC for trees inspection recommendations at Delray.
This is Benita, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And item D, Kevin.
You'll recall that a company called Communication Technology Services was contracted to install a cell phone booster at the Sleepy Hollow MPR and the OAS Student Services Building. At the Sleepy Hollow MPR, unforeseen conditions necessitated a roof penetration, which is not something that CTS does. So we contracted with Alliance Roofing to complete that project. So that's this contract.
Thank you. Any public comment?
No public comment.
It's up for action. Is there a motion?
This is Benita. I move that we approve the Alliance Roofing Company contract for repairs, maintenance, and construction services.
This is Eve. By second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And item E, DSA application, Stuart.
This is for the modernization of the 30s wing at OIS. The drawings are complete and ready to be submitted to DSA. So this is to pay for the application fee. They'll need that when they turn in the project for it. They need to have the check along with it. So that's what this is for. It's a application appointment set up for September 10th.
Great, thank you. Any public comments?
No comments.
Right, this is up for action. We have a motion.
This is Katie. I move that we approve the DSA application 01-122528 OAS 30 swing modernization fee.
This is Eve. By second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item F.
This is for Swinnerton Management. When we originally brought Swinnerton on board after releasing Ropeland back in 2023, the project was the projects were due to end December 2025. The district extended the schedule of these projects to go through the summer of 2026. So this is for that work, is to manage the work through. so as to extend the contract and increase it by $350,000, $350,189.15. Recommendation is to approve the extension with Winterton.
This should take us through the end of the
This
Measure
is-
E and I project.
Yes.
Yay. Yeah. Thank you, Stuart. Any public comments?
No comment.
Is there a motion?
This is Katie. I move that we approve the extended contract with Winterton Management and Consulting.
This is Eve, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Stuart. All right, board policies. Fine. Through.
Yeah, so the staff has updated multiple board policies and administrative regulations and board bylaws. They're listed here in items B through U. Most of them are updated based on new laws and as recommended by CSBA. Some of them are updated due to change of laws like Title IX, and a couple other ones are updated based on our own work and revisions like the grades. So, staff is recommending, unless there's any questions from the board, that the board approve policies in one motion.
Thank you. Are there any public comment?
We don't have any comments.
All right, this is up for action. Any questions, comments from the board? If I could have a motion, please.
This is Katie. I move that we approve board policies B through U.
This is Eve, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we come to OEA and CSE announcements.
Good evening, members of the board, superintendent, staff, and members of our community. I'm Charles Shannon, president of the Orinda Education Association. I want to express my profound appreciation for the extraordinary dedication our teachers have demonstrated as we launch this new school year. Over the past few weeks, our educators have poured their hearts and countless hours into readying our classrooms. This year, the task was even greater as several of our schools were under construction during the summer, creating additional challenges and extra work for our teachers. Despite this, they've meticulously prepared vibrant, engaging, inspiring learning spaces that ensure every student felt welcomed and ready to thrive. Their commitment to creating such exceptional environments truly reflects their passion for teaching and their unwavering dedication to our students' success. This hard work will be beautifully showcased at our upcoming back to school night. OIS, I believe, is on Wednesday, and then elementary is this Thursday. We're incredibly excited for our parents to experience these wonderful classrooms firsthand and connect with remarkable individuals who will guide their children's learning journey this year. I just want to say that our schools that went through construction are so beautiful, and all of our teachers have been saying we just really appreciate our community for supporting the bond. Come in and see our classrooms when you can. It's really remarkable that in my lifetime, I get to see schools that were built in the 50s look fairly brand new. And they're very comfortable. The HVAC is amazing. I was in my classroom today and it just wanted to make me tear up because I remember this time of year, it'd be, 80, 90 degrees and I'm trying to do assessments after a day of teaching. It's just starting the school year and we're sweating and, we're trying to get through. And now I really see like kids are able to do their very best in environments that are comfortable. So it's because of just the outpouring of generosity of our community, all of our partners that, support our schools. And that's why we're a destination district, because we're moving forward and we're making these schools like absolutely amazing. So I'm glad I was able to see that in my 20 years here in Orinda. It's remarkable. I also want to take this opportunity to extend a heartfelt thank you to our entire parent community. Their incredible generosity to Orinda One campaign provides all the vital resources that directly enrich our students' educational experience and support the innovative programs that make our district so special. So thank you for your continued support of all of us, our dedicated staff, and our wonderful students. We're really looking forward to a truly outstanding year, and that's because of all of us working together. So Parents, we can't thank you enough, and the community, anyone who is donating their time, because we have so many parents, community members donating volunteer hours. That's incredible. And then those financial donations are so important because we know the state doesn't fully fund our schools. We're the lowest, we're at the bottom of funding. So we couldn't do it without the generous donations of our parent community and just the whole community. So thank you. We really appreciate it. Come in and see our schools. We're just so proud of them. Thanks.
Thank you, Charles.
We don't have anyone from CSCA. I'll just quickly say, it has been a great start of the year. So I'll just thank our cabinet. I mean, if you walked in the week before school started, it was hard to imagine that it was going to come together. But just appreciate Stuart's leadership and Swinnerton's as well it is an unbelievable amount of work that was done this summer. And then our teachers putting the classrooms together to make them look what they look. Our schools do look amazing. The painting, they put together, and we're excited to bring the rest of the school district on that as well. So it was a lot of work, but we were getting a lot of positive feedback. And you'll get a full report next, the budget and all. So I think it's just a lot of great news. So thank you, Stuart, for all that. And then we just had wonderful professional development training to start off the school year. It's really positive, a lot of good training. Board approved I think it was the second to last meeting, the testing, and Sarah organized the training. We have hired up all the staff, and we had a really incredible professional development everywhere from our aides to our teachers to everyone. So it's just a really positive start to the school year. So we're thrilled about that. It's a good start, celebrating with our back to school night. Kevin's not sitting there, so he's not in my eyesight. But I don't know how many, yes, you do. There's been a lot of cameras, hookups, and the weekend before school started, there was a lot of tech team running around all weekend long with testing every single cable. I mean, it's just an unbelievable effort for such a small team. So really, it just takes a lot to get the year going, for it to all just look like magic on day one from everyone. So it's a great start of the year, good professional development to kick it all off. And we're excited to see the kids there. So I think it's going to be a good year. And yes, we'll see the classrooms on Wednesday and Thursday. And we're excited to get the visits going so that you can see it all in action.
Thank you. Board report. Well, I'm excited to go to the OIS Bible School Night. I'll be going as a parent, as a board member, and then we have our board workshop Friday. And then, I'm excited to start the tours and the site visits. It'll be great.
Yeah, basically the same, except so, yes, likewise.
Thanks, just look forward to getting started.
Likewise, OIS and Delray. Yeah. And then board workshop. It'll be fun.
Yes, good.
All right. Since the calendar, we have items A through L up for consideration. Any public comment?
There's no public comment.
Okay. This is action, a motion.
This is Katie. I move that we approve the consent calendar items B through L.
Yes.
This is Benita, I second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. We have future agenda items.
Yes.
Are there any items board members would like to see?
We'll send out the official spreadsheet with how it's planned out as well for the year, how it's mapped out. But we have the board workshop with the annual goal setting and the protocols and everything else that the board discussed for this Friday. And then September, the main thing is on audited actual. We'll get a full summer construction update and including measuring and and deferred maintenance. And then we'll do a Wagner Ranch nature area update, as well as hear from our educational technology update. And then in October, we'll hear all about assessments, data, and back to special education programming. And it is a bullying prevention month, and student presentations will start in September. Yes. right, Sarah? Did I say that right? September, student presentations, or October. Student presentations will start in October. I saw that confusing, so, yes. So we're actually going back to the closed session, so the board is recessing back to closed session, and, that's it. I think we will recess. Oh, no, we'll go off.
So I can help with the trade.
If that's okay. I'll get back.